So I'm gonna get this hose off, this fan off, air cleaner housing out, and then the front timing cover. First we gotta get this harmonic balancer puller off. It is pressed on, so you will need a puller tool, some form of a puller tool, okay? 3-jaw, I normally use my 3-jaw puller tool, okay? So, and along with the insert. Alright, so just stick an insert inside of the crankshaft hole and merely pull the puller off. From there, you should be able to easily remove the cover and go from there. And that should be fairly easy to get into. Alright, stay tuned, man. Let's get with it. Alright, guys, I'm back. Welcome back. I have mostly all the little 10mm screws off of here. Okay, the reason I'm filming in spots because I don't have my camera holder. So, but anyway, this stuff here is pretty simple. Okay, just remove all the bolts out of the cover. As you can see, I already have the fan assembly removed and the air cleaner box removed and the radiator hose set to the side. Now with all the cover housing bolts off, at least the top, I'm able to remove this. Okay, so as you get that off, you can now visually see. Now when you say like if you're going to check a car to see if it's out of time, that's probably the most you would have to do to this cover, because there is no tattletale or peephole in the cover. So you literally will have to pull the cover off to verify if the car is still in time. And yes, these cars jump out of time all the time. Okay, that's simply because if the water pump will leak, as you can see the way they designed it, water pump will leak and the coolant will get on the belt, and the belt would just essentially jump time because it's loose and wet from all the moisture that coolant holds. Okay, so yes, there will be times where this engine will jump time and it drive you crazy. You may have low vacuum, timing fault codes, things like that. Alright guys, where we at now? We got to get this pulley off. It's held on by 18mm bolt. Alright, so what I want to do right quick is brag on this. Y'all remember this? I did a little small review. I got this from Harbor Freight, my earthquake stubby impact. Okay, what sold me on it was I think it said it was 700 foot torque, pounds of torque in it. That I don't think it's that much, so they may have exaggerated the numbers, but at any rate, it's been working just fine. I was supposed to do, in fact, I put that video right here, but I was supposed to do a review, updated review, and I haven't gotten around to do it. But this is the whole reason I bought this impact in the first place, because it's very stubby and you can get down in here. With my big impact, you can't get down here. Only reason you want down in there with an impact is to remove this bolt. Everybody's speed driven, okay? Nobody want to fight with a wrench and a breaker bar and all that. So simply grab your, and even with this extended adapter, I still got room, okay? So in fact, let's go ahead and get this bolt off. Remember guys, protect the radiator. I am being extremely cautious. I do not have a cardboard, so see, it's not much clearance and you don't want to poke that radiator, okay? But we're just trying to get the bolt off for now. Alright, I was extremely careful. That steam you see is just from the coolant. Car's still fairly hot. That's another thing, you don't really want to be working on a car when it's hot, but I am pressed for time. So I was able to get the 18mm bolt off. Now from there, simply grab your insert and use your harmonic balancer tool to remove the harmonic balancer. Alright, let's get it. Alright guys, moving right along, I have my harmonic balancer tool in place. I have my socket right here. We're ready to get this off. Now remember guys, be extremely careful. Do not touch that radiator. Alright, I have it on here. Let's give it a good whip. See what happens. We got to get it off. And there you have it. So simply remove it and then go from there. Man, let's keep moving. Bottom cover off so we can formally, or we can go ahead with our inspection. Remember, you don't know what parts you actually need until you actually inspect it, visually inspect it. Okay, now I see something down in this cover. What in the world? Uh-oh. Ladies and gentlemen, that looks like, whoa, whoa, look at the bearings down there. All right, guys. So I will need a idler pulley, not so much of the tensioner. Remember, this is the tension, hydraulic tension. This is a tensioner pulley. So like I say, anything that rolls in here, you might want to replace. Water pump's getting replaced. The timing belt getting replaced. Look how loose that is. Oh man, I haven't even loosened the tensioner. So this bearing was going bad. This probably was the rattling noise she was hearing. Look at that, guys. This has been just riding on here. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Oh my goodness. I did a video once on a job like this. Look at that. I was able to remove the belt. This belt was about to jump any day now, any mile now. Okay. Yes, you're getting a new belt. You see the cracks in this belt? Again, I do not think that's original. Okay, because a belt cannot last 200,000 miles. Wow, wow, wow. Look at that. That had basically seized up. Okay, guys. So the parts that I'm going to get is idler, water pump, and timing belt. Okay, I'm gonna take this off and take a look at this. All right, but all right, let me head to the parts department. We're gonna keep right along trucking, y'all. Let's get it. All right, guys, I'm back from the parts department. Here's exactly what I'm gonna replace. Essentially everything that rolls, everything that pertains to a bearing. Okay, here's my serpentine belt idler. Okay, here's my tensioner pulley with pulley built onto it. This is OEM Mopar. Here's my new water pump. Of course, here's my new timing belt. Here's my timing belt idler pulley. Okay, this is the one that came apart. In fact, let's go ahead and get this thing off while we on that topic. There's one thing I forgot to mention, guys. What you should probably do is bring the car up the top dead center before you take the belt off. That just would make it more easier and simpler to you already be in time once you take the belt off, so you won't have to put it in time. Okay, and you will have a pretty good idea that it's in time because you know you brought everything up while you was taking it apart. All right, so this is another tip I forgot to mention. Bring the timing up to specs before you take it apart. All right, let's get this pulley off. Wow, look at that. That is crazy. I knew I was hearing some rattling noise, just didn't know where it's coming from. That pulley has come apart. Okay, no sense of dwelling on it. Let's get it fixed. Let's keep right along trucking. All right, so but from now, I'm gonna go ahead and take this water pump off. Okay, very self-explanatory. About 7-10 millimeter bolts. And be sure you have a drain bucket underneath because you're about to lose some coolant if you didn't drain the coolant before. And also, guys, do not forget to clean all of these old bearings out of here. All right, let's get all this old stuff out of here. All right, guys, we got all the bolts off the water pump. As you can see now, it's time to simply just pry the water pump off. It should fall off. Like I say, make sure you have a bucket underneath. I still hear bearings. It just appears to be hot, guys. Not really hot. I just drove it in, so I wanted to knock it out fairly quick. But to you guys, I highly recommend you let the car cool completely down. See, it's not cooling, not hot at all. Here's the old water pump. I even think this has been replaced once upon a time. And y'all, guess what? Y'all see this? This is OEM. So y'all see how long these OEM water pumps can last? No noisy bearing, no nothing. Now, as far as that tensioner pulley, if it has never been replaced, then rightfully so. I mean, this car has 200,000 miles. It has done its job. but I don't think these water pumps can go that long. Well, who am I? But this Mopar and it's still holding up. I'm just gonna go in with a new window. All right, let's keep right along moving, guys. Stay with me. All right, guys, I'm in the middle of putting the timing belt on. Let me go over something with you. You always, well, I tend to always start with the crankshaft. Okay, as you can see, the mark on the crankshaft is semi right at the top dead center mark. Okay, I may need that little leeway for something else. All right, now I have the right side or the left side mark in specs. Okay, and there's no slack on the belt from this angle. Guys, please forgive the bad camera angle. It's only me today. So what I do now is just holding this, and now I have number one up, or I have the mark up just slightly off. So when I put the belt on and adjust it, everything should fall into place. But as far as the tensioner go, I have the tensioner, hydraulic tensioner, slightly down. As you can see, the bolts are loose. All right, so they're just gonna give me some room to I didn't have to use the pin this way. Okay, now if I had a grenade pin inside the tension, I wouldn't have to do this. Okay, guys, so it's a number of ways you can do it. There's no exact way to do it. There's no right or the wrong way. It's whatever way works for you. This seems to have worked for me over the years. I do not stick a pin in it. I should maybe, and in fact, I want you guys to do it like that. Okay, don't do it like this. This is my personal car and I'm pressed for time. But stick a pin in there and the timer will fall into place real easily. Okay, so in fact, I won't even show y'all this way because I highly recommend you stick a pin, remove the tensioner, stick a pin in it, and you will be able to easily put the timing belt on. All right, stay with me. All right, guys, welcome back. One last online mechanic tip I want to leave with you. Okay, I have this belt on, all the slack out. I have the timing marks up. Let me go over something with you real quick. Okay, remember on the previous setting I was telling you I advise you to put the pin in the tensioner and do everything the right way. Okay, now listen, I got the timing belt up. I also highly recommend you rotate the engine mechanically with a wrench. Use the crankshaft, by the way. Do not rotate the engine using the cam. Go all the way around one revolution and re-look at the timing marks. Okay, I have already went around one revolution. Now bring it back up, bring the marks back up at the crankshaft. All right, now take a look at your marks again. Okay, always double check your double checking. All right, now let's look at something. As you can see, mark is on the crank. As you can see, a line right there on the left cam. As you can see, semi-aligned on the right cam. That's not bad, guys. That's not gonna hurt anything. Okay, that's just tolerance, just the way the belt made. It's not gonna be perfect on all of them. In fact, I go so far as to start the engine up at this point. Okay, you can either use a vacuum gauge or your scan tool. You don't want to run it long. I have my scan tool hooked up. I will be looking at engine vacuum. Okay, I crank the carb, monitor vacuum. If you push in between 17, high 17s, 18 through 20, yes, you are in time. Everything is normal. Now, where you have a problem is if you're sitting on 16, 15 inches of vacuum while the car is running. Okay, keep in mind there's no accessories. You don't have any compressor or power steering. The only tension on the belt is just the engine itself at this point. So I always do that every time in belt, especially on PT Cruiser. I always start the engine up for a quick second, not long. You don't want to run it long in this state. Okay, I run it, monitor my engine vacuum. You should be between 18 and 20, high 17s max. If you're in the 16 or 15, ladies and gentlemen, you are out of time. Okay, that's all I want to leave with you guys, man. Thanks for staying with me. Thanks for watching these videos. The rest is easy, guys. Putting everything back together. Just reverse the removal procedure and put everything back together. Remember, I'm going in with a new tensioner and pulley. Top off the coolant. Do not forget to bleed the coolant. Okay, I got a video right here showing you how to properly bleed a coolant system. the tools that I use to bleed the cooling system, go back in with the correct antifreeze and the correct amount of antifreeze, and you should be home scot-free. All right, guys, again, thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next video.